prime rib Au-Jus. Take some beef short ribs, a few chunks, just throw another one in there, and sear them on both sides in a good sized pot. You'll need about a 6 or 8 quart pot to make the Au-Jus. Once you brown the ribs, take them out, set them to the side, and add your onions, about this much. It's not critical that you have a specific amount of onions. This is one big onion. 1 or 2 onions is fine, doesn't really matter. And then you're going to fry this up a little bit. Couple minutes for the onions. Then we're going to put carrots, celery, thyme, and fresh rosemary. Okay, that's about how much thyme and rosemary and carrots, celery, and onions you want to put in. I used about half of these bundles and just kind of tore them up through the bits in there. Cut up a few cloves of garlic and throw them in there too. Okay, now we add 2 or 3 liters of beef broth. I'm going to use 2 today. 3/4 of a cup of port and 3/4 of a cup of red wine, cheap red wine. Sorry, barefoot. Okay, once you have your port, your red wine, your spices, maybe throw a couple bay leaves in there, and take your short ribs and put them back in. Ooh, this is looking good. Stir it around. Now you want to bring it to a boil, and then turn the heat down to low, and just simmer it all day long, uncovered. A lot of the water will evaporate, so you might need to add some water. We'll see how it goes. But you want this to cook down to probably a little less than half of how much is in there right now. So it'll evaporate all day long at a slow simmer. So bring it to a boil, turn the heat down, let it simmer all day. It's before noon right now, and dinner should be ready by about 5. So you want to simmer it 5 hours at least. Okay, this is the rib roast, prime rib, or standing rib roast they call it. So we're going to rub it with some salt, pepper, and herbs de Provence. I'm going to rub these herbs de Provence all into the roast, kind of just push it in. And salt and pepper. Okay, stop. After you get it rubbed with herbs de Provence, salt and pepper, take some cut up garlic, push it in all the little spots you can find all over the place. All these little, just tuck garlic in everywhere. You can use a knife too to kind of open it up a little bit. Stuff some garlic in there. Okay, stop. Okay, next, take some beef fat. Your butcher will give you beef fat if you ask for it. Melt it down. You could use olive oil as well, but this is the real deal. And just paint the roast. Paint the roast with your beef fat. Use a silicone brush. Just paint the roast. After you've got your garlic stuffed in everywhere, salt, pepper, just paint the roast with this beef fat. Okay, it's ready to go. So now you want to transfer it into some kind of a roasting pot. Maybe use this round pot. And put it in the oven at 200 for about 5 hours, 5-6 hours. You'll want to monitor the temperature. If you have a remote temperature monitor, you want to cook it till it reaches about 135 Fahrenheit inside. So 5 or 6 hours. Okay. You want the roast to reach 135 degrees Fahrenheit. This one's creeping up to 140, which is okay. And then you want to heat your oven up to 450 and put the roast back in for about 10 minutes at 450. There's the Au-Jus cooking down nice. Toward the end, add a tablespoon of balsamic vinegar. Then strain the vegetables, so the Au-Jus. Then strain the Au-Jus into a pot. That's the good stuff right there. Okay, it's done. Now the final thing you want to do is cut along here, cut the ribs off. Cut. You can put the ribs in some foil, throw them back in the oven for 10 minutes or so at like 400 degrees, and then they're good ribs, you can eat off the ribs or you can make soup with them. And then you want to carve the roast across the grain like that. Sorry, like that. Okay, so we've cut the bones off. Throw them here in foil for 10 minutes in the oven. And then you cut the roast against the grain, which is in line with the bones. That's the finished product. A little bit messy, but very nice. And the finished product: Au-Jus and prime rib.